Greetings. So
Yeah.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you in person for the first time, I think, like in real communication.
Nice background. I see you guys are collecting records and synthesizers.
Yes,
Wow,
the
it's
records here
amazing.
are insane. It goes all the way to that balcony over there. I will show you. Also over here, I don't know if you will see in the dark, but it's there's another stand of records over there. So yeah,
I see it. That's a lot of records.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you listening to?
oh wow. Could you answer that question? You know, when somebody asks you, do you have like a thing?
Very long and incomplete answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, can you please introduce yourselves for the audience?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm Elodie from Paris, from the band Starbabe. And this is Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude Gabriel.
First time I saw you guys was on this YouTube called Our Sounds Electric.
Yeah.
And how did he find you? How did you end up there?
I think we found him.
On SoundCloud, I think.
Yeah, there was a
Contact on SoundCloud.
I was definitely aware of that channel also as a DJ for a long time.
What?
Channel
You're a
is
DJ?
like,
You didn't know?
oh yeah, that
Oh.
Jean-Claude was actually like kind of like
We do have a
Yeah.
second festival, you know.
I will send you my SoundCloud link. It's another alter ego. I'm not sure if it will be Mutant Transmissions. It's softer. It's disco. It's more disco, but
Italo disco?
Right.
Could it possibly be Italo disco? Or is it disco? It's proper disco.
Many of those vinyls that you see on the wall, it's like more authentic kind of.
Oh yeah?
Like
Like the hostess.
Oh
you
my
see
God.
which is all the way to the ceiling. So it's a lot of authentic 70s American, you know, the disco with live instruments and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is definitely a warm Italo corner in my heart. I never did an Italo set actually, because usually what I'm known for is like all the re-edits of those classic kind of jumping, you know, slapping bass stuff, kind of, you know, organic songs. But I'll take the challenge, maybe. Why not?
Right.
Sure.
You're saying you found it on Mixcloud or SoundCloud?
I mean, we know the channel, Our Sounds Electric. I knew just as a DJ and an 80s lover and a music lover. I knew of this channel and these great videos that he's doing. But Elodie is doing all the. Luckily, I'm very lucky that I'm not in this hamster wheel of social networking, you know. And Celine is probably, Elodie is probably jumping on top of it and doing a great job. You know, she found you.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how was exactly the link with, I think Tony from.
Tony, from Our Sound Electric. Yeah, we just got an exchange, you know. I think it was via SoundCloud, and you know, like he really liked also our stuff. So he offered us to play it on his channel. And yeah, it started there. And then you saw us there.
I saw you there for first time, and I think, not that I know you were first band from his channel I ever contacted. I was like, okay, this is my band. I have to, and then I checked, and it's just you had one song at that time. I was really in shock because you sound so put together. You sound so like finished.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? How is it possible? Just one song.
Yeah, we're glad you liked it.
Yeah, totally.
And okay, so you don't use computers, you use only analog instruments. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, everything, like basically, if I would show you around here, let me do the tour of this room that all the music is taking place. Basically, there is like I don't know how familiar are you with the gear, but there's a lot of authentic, you know, like real, the real deal here, you know, as far as the equipment that makes me, really makes me want to play the music and enjoy it, you know. So
looks a little bit like synthesizer porn. Yes, I can see it.
yeah, kind of, yeah. And I showed you this, and not because of the porn effect, which I know that is also there, but because I mean, it might be a part of it, but honestly, when it comes down to it, physicality to me is how it's what makes me tick. I need to twist the knobs, you know, and feel it, and there is something about electricity plugged in that is just making me tick and make me move around this room and, you know, and create the sounds. So the computer is more like a tape recorder. It records what's happening live here, and then some editing on the computer, but the actual sounds and effects are coming all live from this room. And of course, this amazing voice and personality.
How did you guys find each other?
Une 80s party.
All kind, I think.
Ouais.
Celine, I call her.
I have two names.
Yeah, her name is Celine Elodie.
Elodie, Celine Elodie.
Yeah, so we kept Elodie for Starbabe, but we met at parties. She used to come to many parties that I DJ'd, and so I was like, obviously she has a good taste.
Ouais.
Yeah.
I was enjoying the music before I knew who he was, so it's cool. Because I didn't know that I would stay. That I would stay here. I just took one-way ticket, and I liked it, so eventually I stayed here.
Yeah, is it in your life? How long have you
For almost 10 years. It's gonna be 10 years. Almost 9.5.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. I mean, when I came, I could really see it so alive. Like there's so much going on in Tel Aviv.
Nice.
And I really like it. And I found Tel Aviv, that dark scene, they were like this. Like they were really open-minded. When I played like electro kind of, they were really into it. So I enjoyed it. And there was a cat.
Your sets are very, I like that you mix the old with the new, right? Like yeah, from what I heard, it's like one song from 1983 and the other one you downloaded from Bandcamp like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It's like very...
Well, the music scene, the underground scene with like bands that are almost completely unknown, you know, it's really prolific. People are putting out a lot of stuff, but it's unknown. A lot of good, and I mean, I consider myself to be super picky. I'm not like, most stuff I don't like, you know, but with few things I like, I'm really passionate about, and the things are not, like people don't know about it, and people putting out amazing music. So I think it's super important for a DJ and promoter, whatever, to be the bridge between the audience and the artist. So for me, it's important to do this, but I've been around for a few years, you know, so I know a lot of old stuff from my years.
But also, like you're an ambassador for new music. Also, to me, I've known a lot of stuff through your shows, and through Mutant Transmissions Festival just completely blew my mind with the stuff that and those Japanese DJs, vinyl only. I was, you know, my jaw dropped. And also, I really enjoyed consuming this in such a total involvement, meaning like many times we are used to consume virtual content in a way that is kind of like, it's like a playlist, you know, you have Spotify will shift the songs and this, and I was sitting and watching it like it's, you know, it's live, and I'm totally engaged, and Elodie was at her place, and we were, you know, chatting during, you know, like, did you hear that band? Oh my God, we're amazing! Like,
it was really insane. I remember it was like, wow.
Like watching a football match. Like, not that I understand, but you know, like to be really engaged in what you're watching. So big thumbs up for that. It was really. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's really amazing to hear, because I love you guys obviously were one of the bands, and I love every single participant. I think it's like art. I'm only including things that are art for me, and the art is like sacred. Yeah. So when these things, it's not my project I'm putting on screen, you know, but I still take it so personally, you know, when it doesn't have a response or if there's not enough audience, I'm just like dead inside. And when people respond to it, I'm like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. Okay, so my part. Let's get to my part of it, since the interview is about me.
I have another question for you about your DJ, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'll try to keep my question in mind. I won't forget it because I need to ask you about my part of a festival, which is transitions, video editing.
I remember my question. I don't want you to forget.
Okay, good. Smart, good. I forget stuff instantly.
Go ahead.
Did you enjoy the intro? Did you get the whole thing about multiverse? We came up with this literally like a week before and shot the whole thing and edited. Did you guys see that?
The intro?
Yeah, you sent it to me, I think.
No, the festival intro. It was the guy from a band Gur in a dress, and he was talking about.
Yeah, of course, the transition between each songs.
Yeah, and in the beginning he talked about like the multiverse and the surfing channel.
Yeah, of course, that was hyper fun.
I don't think I saw it.
See,
Okay, you need to see the beginning. It's just a few minutes, but we tried. I really think I went a little bit farther than I could have executed in a week, you know? Talking about multiverses and all this stuff, but yeah. Okay.
So it's available for watching like.
Oh yeah, on YouTube of a festival, your set as well. Everything is on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/c for channel /Polina Y.
All right, and you can also.
I will say.
Yeah, I would definitely want to check it out because I don't think I saw the intro.
Oh, you gotta see the beginning.
Later.
Later. I think I came back from work or something.
Yeah.
The guy who was doing the intro, he's actually in a band called Gur. That's amazing band. He's gonna play the second festival.
Okay, from where?
He's in Germany. Yeah, he's in Germany. That's it. Not he's in Germany, but he's in Germany. He's German.
Okay.
That's kind of what happens with artists I work with. They end up like eventually, if they're guys wearing a dress, you know, and introducing other, like it just happens a lot.
That was cool. I liked it.
Okay, I just had to, because no one mentioned it. I'm like, how? He's in a dress and he made like a multiverse transceiver. You know, I'm like, how did no one mention this? We're so brilliant and no one gets us. But anyway, moving on. So did you have a question about DJing?
Yeah, for you. What I want to know, like, if you consider yourself an ambassador of new music, which I think you are, and then, like, okay, I guess it's about the way you DJ and the way you incorporate new music. I'll go back for a second. In the days of vinyl, vinyl cost a lot of money, and I remember buying, you know, about maximum of, I would say, 10 records a month, or in a great month where I got some more gigs and more money, I would buy 20. And then they would just get in my crates, and maybe my crates would go bigger, but my selection of very few hundreds of records for DJing, like as much as I have this enormous thing here, for DJing, you know, you carry a few hundreds and that's it. And they have a shelf life that lasts, in your selection, years. And I know that it's changed a lot once I stopped doing vinyl, and the material got so old in my ears. After one gig, I had like, let's say I do a weekly spot somewhere, all right, or a monthly spot. The next gig would have to be 90% different or 75% different, you know. And I wanted to ask you, I think to you it's even harder because you're me, you know, with the disco and this and that. For you being all about like new unborn acts, undiscovered acts, and you want to implement them, how is it with this? There's so much music and so little time, and what's the shelf life of a song in your sets? Like, do you change them every set? Do you keep them for years? Like,
I get super bored. with music. And with sets, I can't. It's not that I don't love a music, but I don't want to hear DJs playing same stuff personally. When I hear it, it really bores me, and I don't like doing it myself. Like I don't know how much you guys are in the dark scene, but there's, for example, for Gothic music, there's things like top bands, Cure, Sisters of Mercy, few top bands, and there's DJs who will just spin that stuff. And for me, it's like, I understand what they're doing, like it's kind of a social thing it becomes, but for me, I don't, as it relates to me as a person, I don't get it at all. But when I'm trying to promote a new band, I'm not a DJ almost, I become like a promoter. Like I'm putting on the other hat, like for the festival, I played you guys in every set. And I did a lot of sets, I did guest sets all over. So I was just playing these festival bands, but I tried to use different songs, not the same song like every time, but you guys actually have all the songs you put out are like kind of hits. Like from you, I can use almost every song in a set because I'm doing kind of more dancey stuff. So there's one song that's a bit more mellow, doesn't fit my sets. But other than that, I can use every song. So I was switching it up. Huh?
We were very surprised that you played the last one, which is...
Oh, it fits. It's
that
good.
was a huge compliment to hear you play Icarus, because it's really... I felt like it's a bit left field from what we usually spin. It's down-tempo, and it's a bit more organic, you know, more melodic, and it was nice to see you incorporate it next to the hard stuff, you know.
It fits in the minimal wave scene, kind of.
Yeah.
So it fits with that mood. I mean, I try not... I don't stay in a very strict genres.
Yeah.
But there's certain scenes and audiences, and I'm DJing for certain audiences. So, for example, I'm not DJing that often hip hop in my sets, even though I really like it, you know.
No.
But I like electro hop, underground electro hip hop. Oh, I love it. I throw it in sometimes.
Oh.
But if I'm doing kind of a minimal wave set or synthesizer set, that song fits perfect. Like it's...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we were surprised in a nice way that you played it at one of the last Mutant Transmissions. No, sorry, your... how is it called?
With Mutant Disco, I'm coming up with... No?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. We were just surprised that we played Icarus in one of your shows.
Guys, please, send me your new stuff.
Yeah?
Send me your videos, send me your stuff. I will premiere and I will play it. I mean, I love your stuff. I will play all of it.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Because it's hard, like, you know, it's really hard to keep up with, especially I'm kind of interested in a lot of different genres. It's really hard to keep up. Sometimes when people don't send me stuff, I really miss it.
Yeah.
No, of course.
No,
So-
we know that you're a champion for our music as far as we're concerned. Like we see how your involvement, and this is exactly the kind of passion we want to be surrounded by. So
Totally,
absolutely.
not
Yep.
less.
Totally.
Remember it when you're big.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna fight with each other, like if you guys gonna be okay with each other, I predict you definitely have to be big. Like it has to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Every song is understandable. It's like it's done with good musicianship behind it, is what I mean. And it kind of makes sense that you studied disco, because disco, it's very serious musicians who were doing it. It wasn't people like doing punk and experimenting. It was just people who knew music theory, and like you could see it in your sound that you're using a lot of music theory and you're taking things very seriously.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's nice to
Really, yeah.
So what's up with your videos? You're making very interesting video art. Can you tell me how did you start or what's going on there?
Go ahead.
It's the numbers of people inside the head, I think, that help doing it. The amount of personality that just help. Yeah, we have many ideas, a wide imagination. And yeah, I mean, we get inspiration a bit, you know, from many different things, but we always try to stay ourselves. So that's the result. Huh? I think, and many hours of hard work in the computer.
Yeah, that
with passion.
We do use computer for that.
Ouais, for the video, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did you do any kind of video art before, or you just started with Starbabe?
We started with Starbabe.
Yeah.
I gotta say that
Respect.
Thanks to
it's
COVID-19.
a massive credit to Elodie, because what happened is that we have this very nice kind of like parallel responsibilities that are just. I think that's why we either don't fight or really know how to fight well, because
That's
I'm
important.
music. She writes the lyrics. Some of them I still don't know all the meaning of all of our songs, you know, because I care about the musicality of the line. I want it to fit well, you know. Sometimes I could tell her, this line has too many S in it.
Yeah.
But as long as it sounds good, that's her department, you know what I mean?
Sometimes he's trying to teach me French to sound better, you know. How is it possible?
So when it comes to the video, I was like, I told her, okay, Elodie. So I mean, I got this. I need to make our music. We need someone to make the videos. We cannot rely on our editor friends and this and that. You gotta learn, jump in the water, learn Premiere, and the first video she did all by herself without any help was Attack.
It's a very good. She has very good. You have very good taste.
Oh, but thank you.
But it's because it's like my taste. I'm just complimenting myself, you know. It's self-serving compliments.
Well, thank you, but we made it together, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting with Celine, but she's really, you know, two hands on the computer and really getting it going.
Cut.
That's how I'm editing my DJ videos. When I edit them, it's like cut. It's really, I think it's very traumatizing for people who are watching. Like every second there's a switch.
Oh yeah, I agree. At the end of Attack, I was afraid that some people would get epilepsy attack. You know, like it's really blinking a lot. And
I'm thinking if we should do like retrigger and put like a warning in the beginning.
Yeah.
At least for myself, I was thinking like.
I'm pretty sure we thought about it, I swear. Or someone told us to maybe.
So guys, when are you gonna have an album?
Wow, you know, it's a very interesting subject, the whole album thing. I'm gonna ask you a question in return, please. Most of your acts, do they release? When I say your acts, I mean the new acts that you incorporate in your shows. Do they release album, or are they mostly off COVID times gigging and just releasing songs now with Spotify and all that? Like from what I see, many bands are just releasing per song, right?
Depends if you want people to buy it. If you did, a lot of times people are hesitant to buy one song. You will just have a lot less people buying it. Even if people are much rather see like a collection and then they will buy that. It's just my impression. I think people are releasing vinyl in the underground scenes. Because it's kind of connects to vinyl DJs and also collectors, because it's like, as you can probably understand, it's like a piece of art in your hands, you know? It's not, I mean, I like vinyl also sometimes, even though I'm mostly DJing from a computer, because it's just extra connection to the artist. It's like that extra step towards the artist.
Totally. Yeah. Especially in your genre, I think being promoting new music, and more than half is probably not even being released on a physical format, correct?
Vinyl. Always record labels are doing vinyl. There used to be a really big thing for tape culture. I don't know if you I mean, you probably know about this whole tape thing. But I think now it's dropping off a lot because you can't, I think you're getting purely into collector's items when you're doing tapes. Very few people are listening to them, and they get, I think, degraded very quickly. So it's kind of fun, and it's really like DIY because it's really cheap and anyone can make the tapes. So there's a lot of labels doing tapes, but vinyl is important. Vinyl is important for DJs, and vinyl is important for fans as an object to connect to the artist and to buy. CDs, I think no one's buying at all. And digitally, people are buying records, not songs.
Yeah.
Interesting. About the album for us, I think that once we get the thing is, until now every song was kind of an eventful thing with the video and all that. We have a few songs that are rated B, not rated, right? Like the B songs. Which, as a music fan, I know that you could understand that sometimes the B songs are the one that the people who really likes you might like even more, you know, because they're less. I don't know.
Less dramatique. Oh, less dramatique, maybe.
Yeah. So we have some of those, but then again, the instinct would be to just pack them in a small EP and maybe release. But we are talking them maybe to, because we have the material for an album. We just think that with today's pace of constantly having the pressure to release content to stay relevant on a weekly almost basis, it's best to release this song today and the next song 3 weeks from now, and then you always, have this kind of.
It's true. It's good to have news, but videos are your news.
But?
The album is the album, and the videos are your news. That's every time you come out with a video, it's like we have a new thing, bum bum bum.
Yeah.
All right, we're releasing.
I'm just saying. I'm sure there's a million labels, small and otherwise, who would love to release you, or you can self-release. It's also it's really depending what you're looking for from a label. If you want them to do your touring, like what level, because if you just want them to release your vinyl, fuck it, just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. We are trying to understand the extra benefit in having an external label, and honestly, especially being located in Israel at the moment, we think that the label's importance should be and functionality should be more as a management company, as a force that could maybe more to book the gigs and to do that sort of stuff.
Well, for now the gigs are in the living room for everybody, but once it will be over.
Yeah.
You guys have been in Israel pretty successful, right? With the vaccination, or so we read in the news.
Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah.
Maybe I will do it tomorrow.
You haven't done it.
No, not yet.
But I feel because you're French. I get it.
I'm lazy. I'm too lazy.
Someone wants to say hello.
Oh! Hello!
What's his name?
Max. The new album will be vinyl. You're gonna self-release it, I understand. Okay. Can you please show me the favorite piece of equipment? And tell me why.
Oh my God.
It's like asking the favorite cat.
Yeah. It's very brutal to do it. Can I do a top 3 or do I have to
Let's go.
One?
Let's do it. Let's go for it. Top 3 is good.
It'll take me a moment. My God.
Oh, be spontaneous.
Well, I gotta say that if I choose, I know my 3. It's funny that my 3 that I would choose are no, you see now I contradict myself. Like, no, there's this guy. Okay.
Oh no.
All right, I have a top 3. Setup.
Allez.
Okay. I'm gonna steal a 4th, and just because it's not on the list, but I will say that the Juno 60 is my first ever real synthesizer, and that's why it has a very warm corner in my heart. And I bought it. I was hesitating between a few synthesizers. It was the time where there were still stores of vintage gear. It was before the inflation with the whole thing of what's their name? The French Daft Punk. Yeah. When Daft Punk and all of these bands came, then the whole analog gear thing became explosive, and eBay and da. But before that, there were actual shops, and those things were pretty cheap. And I remember buying this, and I don't know if you could see. Remember the keyboardist of Cyndi Lauper, the American singer.
Yeah.
It was in New York City.
Uncover the microphone, please.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
So the keyboardist. Oh, you don't know this story.
No.
The keyboardist of Cyndi Lauper
Wow.
came to the shop in New York City called Dr. Sound, and he came with the Juno 60 to fix, and there were stickers on the Juno 60 that said "Girls" for girls just want to have fun,
Cool.
time for time to time with the numbers of presets, you know.
Wow.
And I saw that and I'm like, if this guy with this is making these sounds on this synthesizer, I better stick to it. I got it, but that's not in the list. Okay, so top 3. All right, number 3, not in the order of importance, just top 3. Top 3, number.
Microphone.
You're right. Number 3 would be the Yamaha CP80. It's an electromechanic piano from the late 70s. It's the kind of piano that you could hear in many adult rock bands used to use that kind of stuff, like Genesis in the song "That's All," or Joe Jackson in "Stepping Out." That sort of sound. That would be my number 3. My number 2 would be this little humble vintage thingy. It's a Kuma Performer. Kuma is an Italian company. All this thing does is strings, but you can press one key and it will sound like music. It's just such a musical machine.
Can you press it, or is it turned off?
I would need to. I can do a little demonstration.
Je t'en prie.
You can join
Bonsoir.
me.
Bah ouais.
Yeah, for.
Attends, wait.
So basically, the Kuma Performer, which we showed you here, this guy. So as I said, it's just a string machine. That's all it does. But basically, Duran used this when they didn't have money in the first, the recording on the first 2 albums. It's all over the place. This guy, it's like you can hear it on the.
Oh my god!
It's not, it's not a clone. It's not almost. That's the actual thing. And whenever I play it, it really warms my heart. And I would say that the third or the first, whatever you want to call it, that I would choose would be here. This guy. It's stuck deep inside. I don't know if you could really see it, but it's the Emulator 2, which is a really legendary piece of gear from the 80s. And for example, most of the album Black Celebration is made on an Emulator 2. Songs like Western Girls, everything but the drums is the Emulator 2. Like it's one of the last beastie looking samplers. And it sounds like an Emulator 2 sounds only like an Emulator 2. It's very.
Is it turned on?
It turns on. If I want to load a sound to it, it will take a few seconds because that's what it's like in this, But I can load something for you.
So
no problem.
when you're playing it live, you preload everything, like if when people would using it live for a show.
Yeah. What they would do many times, they would stretch the time between the songs by talking, and they would get a little head nod from the keyboardist when the setup was ready. Because look how much now I'm stretching time with you, because basically what it does, it loads every it's a sample, so it loads every note on every key, and you hear tack 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 until it's fully loaded. It's really funny the way it's made. But that's okay.
Voilà.
Here it is. That's an Emulator 2. I hope. I don't know. How
Oh,
it
that sounds so
on-
nice. It sounds really good.
Yeah. That's it. That's the top 3 pieces of gear.
But
In Starbabe Studios.
I only heard 2. Can I hear the other ones? Is it a possibility or is it too complicated?
Which other ones you wanna hear?
The number 4.
Number 4. Well, yeah, they're all connected. This guy is amazing.
Wait, I will come with the computer.
I mean, guys, for me, this is super interesting, but let me tell you, people who are going to watch this, nerds, they're going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy.
The nerds will love it.
Yeah. Music
the
nerds.
nerdy part. I hope maybe don't show my lower part, because what we did, Polina, because we are like
No
the
pants.
newscast, exactly, almost, you know, like pajama pants and a nice shirt. So that's.
And it's raining outside.
Hey guys,
Right,
it's live.
so this one is called the Prophet VS. It's a hybrid digital analog synthesizer, and it sounds incredible. It sounds, again, it's Zoom, so I don't know, but it sounds like this.
Wow. Super full.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Super full. I'm happy you say it over the phone. My God, it's nice.
But it's like a whole orchestra playing. It's crazy.
Yeah. And Elodie's demonstrating that. Yeah. It's very cool. There is another thing that might be nice for the nerds to watch.
And for me also.
I'm a nerd too, so it's okay. I call them nerds, right? My comrades. So
oui.
maybe that one would be nice. Let's see that it's on. All right.
Ooh.
So this I don't know if you see it. It's a vocoder plus VP330. It has a few sounds on its own that are very like choir sounding, like. But it gets really interesting when you turn all the sounds off and then you just say, "Hey, Polina."
Oh my god. It's a vocoder.
Yes.
It's a very cool vocoder. It goes sound of Daedalus. So yes, this is another very sweet. So
Is it bad that I just want an hour of nothing but you just playing with your machines?
We should do a set at a certain point. Yeah,
So,
it's cool. It's really
What
nice.
about as you DJing Italo disco,
Mhm.
at the same time you're using some synthesizers?
You know, that's something that I used to do as a DJ. What I used to do is basically do like a Fender Rhodes kind of sound, which is more disco, you know, and I would play on top of like disco edits. I used to do it, and I think that now that you say with Italo disco, this equipment would go very well with it. I think that my only thought about this is that Italo disco is so absorbed with synthesizers, so beautifully made that I don't know if it's there's room for another layer on top, you know.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I would like to dig into Italo. I would love to, and also Elodie used to DJ in some bar, and that's what you would play.
Oh.
But it would take
You guys have to do it together.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
Oh my god, and you can add also sometimes some vocals.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be
How many months we have to prepare?
1 month and a half until April 1st.
Yeah.
Wow, it's only 1 month and a half.
You don't need a lot of time. You need to improvise. One take, done.
She's really perfect for that.
Yeah,
You know
and then
that-
you do video editing. If you don't like something, cut it up.
Yeah, we could actually.
Cut it, loop it.
I already have the songs.
Yeah. That's how we even came about, you know. We were just friends, and Elodie just came to my studio, and it's as you can see, it's a nice hang. Even if you don't know how to play an instrument, it's so physical and that you could have fun with the drum machine or with a vocoder. So we were just here with the synthesizers on and some drum machines, and I just gave her a mic just for the fun of it.
Just for
and
fun.
She just started to read a song
of a French singer from the 70s that I love, and I just like kind of poet, and just did a song like this. It was cool.
Yeah, that's how we started, you know. So what I want to say is that to record a set for you with that manner would be very easy, because she's you just give her a mic and that's it, you know. It flies.
Flies.
Yeah. But I saw that what I loved about Mutant Festival is that it sounded like a hybridic kind of a festival. It sounded like it's a mix of all the names you mentioned now, like all the different genres. You know
that's,
what I mean?
Yeah, that's a whole concept that Mutant Transmissions is supposed to be about bands and things that mix genres, that are not doing like one specific genre, that are experimenting.
Perfect.
And I would love, like, I hate to keep going back to hip hop, or maybe I love to keep going. I'd love to include some electro hip hop stuff. But the problem with those bands are they're either too big and they look at us and they're like, you're too small for us. Or a lot of them ones I like are broken up. Like, I haven't been super successful to bring that in yet.
But you know what? I gotta tell you that to me, one of the biggest charms of this festival, which still resonates in me, was the fact that it felt like a true underground experience.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If you would have watched this festival live, at one time there would be like up to 150 people in the room, and almost every person there was a band or a DJ. Not almost every, but big chunk of them. So you are in a room with musicians, and you are in a room with like artists. So it's nice. But at the same time, in the back of my mind as a promoter, I'm like, I want to give this art bigger audience. Does it not feel bad that there's not like 1,000 people? Or is it okay that it's 100 because it's 100 artists, you know?
I see what you mean, yeah. Especially if we're talking about only 1,000, it's still an underground number.
I mean, overall, there was more than 1,000 per people coming in and out, but
yeah. Well, I think because that's a battle kind of that is hard to fight these days, because internet is such a huge place, and you know, and everything is such a tiny drop, you know, and especially doing something as authentic and as niche as you do, I would say it's probably tougher to extract, you know, devoted audiences if they are not the bands or the DJs, you know. But I gotta tell you, still, it sounded like you really have, even if it's small, it sounds like an obligated community. It sounds like people are like really into it, you know.
Yeah, this is not people who come in and out. This is people who are like, it's their life, kind of. They're collecting records, they all DJ, they eventually end up doing bands, or they were in bands.
Yes.
So
wearing a dress.
Yeah, I mean, it's sooner or later you have to like wear something weird.
Oh yeah, I know.
So this time I'm in my pajama pants, but I promise for the next interview I'm gonna wear a dress. Sounds good?
Yeah, but it sounds like you like the concept too much. You know, you have to do something that's uncomfortable a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to think about this.
The black around your teeth.
Thank you so much for the interview. This is so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice.